I'm gonna take you through our planning process on how we write a narrative. And today is day one. I believe that day one is the most important day because it sets the tone for the rest of the week. So I just wanted to share with you my process for planning. So as always, I do not use curriculum. I have a guide for narratives for grades 3 to 8. It shows how they build on each other if you wanted to teach more than one grade level at a time. And it helps me through the planning process. It can adapt to any experience or any book. Before we do any writing or any brainstorming, we use a book that she's currently reading, a highlighter, and some sticky notes. And we go through the components of a story, the story structures, the elements of a story, and the theme. So we identify all of those things. So this is like her exemplar. It shows this is what it looks like to write a narrative before we even get into writing a narrative. So after we finish that, then of course I created one of my organizers, and we're gonna talk about the characters, the setting, the problem, the events, the solution, the theme, and so on, so we can get all of the main components that we need for her to start writing her narrative. Day one is just brainstorming. Grappling with it first has been a lifesaver because if she knows what it looks like, when it's time for her to write it, it's gonna make more sense to her. So that's it. That's what we use for day one. And I wanted to share with you, because I know that writing can be a struggle sometimes. So what does that look like for 2 grade levels? So you've been following along. One week we did story elements for multiple grade levels. Then we did theme for those grade levels. This narrative is just building off of all of those reading skills. So it's not gonna be a big difference, but I wanted to share with you what she's expected to do for the 1st grade level. A narrative writing focuses on creating simple stories with a clear beginning, middle, and end, and students have to learn to identify and include basic story elements while practicing fundamental writing mechanics. That's on 1 grade level. But when you go to the next grade level, it just builds on it. It says, a narrative writing builds upon the foundations established in the grade before by expanding detail, developing a more complex plot, and introducing basic dialogue. So they're going to be able to start to incorporate a more sophisticated transitions and grammar concepts in this writing. So if you have been already working on 2 grade levels for all of the previous skills, then your child should have an idea of what they should do when it's time to actually write the narrative for those grade levels. So this week, I'm gonna take you guys on that journey with us, and I'm gonna post every day what our writing looks like and give some little tips and tricks that I also use if you have a struggling writer, and that's it.